Welcome back to the Waybright Family Podcast, Experience West Virginia with us. Joining us is our wonderful friends, Julie Gayhart and Nicole Sazishan. There's been so much going on, the past couple of months, March, April. Here we are in April.
All right, you've been busy, Marcia.
We have, and we have a lot of great partners. We've done so much. It seems like, I look back at all this footage and it doesn't feel like we've done that much. It's just every day's been something that's been so exciting, but it's been so rewarding. We just look forward to doing all the stuff that we're doing. And, in the beginning, the chicken banana thing, Colin has really stepped into, of course, Colin, if you know him, he always makes people laugh. He's awesome. So we started to step into some of the funny videos and remaking some of those funny things that you see on TikTok and YouTube. And my goodness, there's been a couple that have gotten over 400,000 views now. It's been crazy, but laughter is like the best medicine, right? It keeps people interested. And, sometimes we have so much fun making them, we can't wait until we make the next one. So you guys stay tuned for that.
Yeah, you had some DC stuff going on too, right, Marcia?
We did. And I am by no means a politician, but I'll tell you what, our representatives are there for a reason, and we all have a voice and we all have the opportunity to speak to them and tell them what we want because they work for us, right? Goldman Sachs gave me the opportunity to go to DC and represent rural West Virginia businesses, and it has just been awesome. I've met so many people, made so many great connections, and I'll be going back to DC soon. This time I've been sent there once by Meta, and Meta has decided to send me back. That's the first time I've said that publicly. But that'll be coming up. And so I'm really excited about that too. Then we went to Charleston and talked to our representatives there too. And, as a private citizen, you're allowed to do this. You're allowed to speak up. You're allowed to talk to people, send letters, make your voices heard. That's what they're looking for.
Yeah, I want to acknowledge you for doing that. There's so many people that think about it, but you're taking action, and that's huge for our state. It's huge for our rural communities. I just really appreciate you personally doing that, Marcia, and then with your family too. It's great to set an example.
Yeah, and everybody is so friendly. I mean, you think that the politicians are out of reach, but whenever you show up there, they want to hear from us. And it's really easy to complain or get upset, but if you're not part of the solution, then you're just part of the problem. And if all you can do is say, how you feel and get that out there in a very respectful, meaningful way, they listen, So then we did the Root to Table. I did a conference that was in Winchester, Virginia, and we had a really great group of ladies that were there. And, it was basically what that did is it got chefs in the same room with the farmers or the producers. And so we just kind of got together and brainstormed and how we can work in cooperation with each other and new and different things that we can do. And, that was a really cool thing to go to also. That was fun. And then the Mountaineer Mile. How many people have heard of the Mountaineer Mile? Julie?
I have, because of you, Marcia. You were so excited about this thing. Y'all, I love it. One of the things that I love about your dynamic, Marcia, is the second you have something exciting to share, you share it. And I love it. And that's how other people get excited about things. And I'm not even in the state of West Virginia, and I know all about the Mountaineer Mile. So, and what you did, and I know you're going to share with everybody, but I just wanted to let you know that I do appreciate you keeping me in the loop on what y'all got going on.
Yeah, it's a great thing. Our governor just started this. He challenged the entire state of West Virginia to try to walk a mile each day in order to start getting our health back, because West Virginia isn't really ranked that high on the healthy stats in the whole, compared to the whole U.S. Nicole, you can help me out here a little bit. We got together and decided that this was a great initiative. And because we work together on so many other things, this was just a really great opportunity. And, the last part of that video was the Mountaineer Mile meets the Allegheny Trail. It was a really, really cool thing. And tell everybody a little bit about our latest guest that just came through here that I created the video with, Nancy East and Chris.
Yeah, super special. First of all, they're on the Allegheny Trail hiking, which is many miles. In fact, those of you who don't know, 311 of them. They made it to marshes. So coming up from the south, that's the 200 mark. And basically, there's some world record holders that were just at marshes, which is pretty impressive for the Smoky 900 record holders for time, getting all that completed. And those of us that are already into maybe some outdoor activities, whether it's hunting or fishing or hiking or biking or kayaking, this Mountaineer Mile is an initiative to get everybody. So all the people kind of we see when we're out doing things, maybe on that front porch, encouraging us to keep doing what we're doing or saying, hey, it's about getting our whole community involved. And that's what I love, like Julie was just saying, Marcia gets excited. So like 7:30 in the morning. Hey, you got a second? Sure. But no, it's so exciting because the passion is there. And Marcia kicked it off. I know we've got people now. We're showing up people all over the state. I think, Marcia, you talk about a couple different state representatives that are commenting and getting on board, different county initiatives. And it started out, get some sneakers on. Well, I happen to do some of mine in my muck boots, right? Walking around my property, checking things out. We had some big windstorms and whatnot. So just get up and get moving and tell them about the segue from a couple people were like, hey, showed pictures of walking their dogs, but tell them about what's going on now with Upshur County's Humane Society.
Yeah, so we have a lady, and I don't have her name in front of me. I think her name is Kathy. She walks the dogs at the Upshur County Humane Society, and she does it every day. So she's getting her Mountaineer Mile in by walking these dogs. And so not only is she advertising the dogs that are adoptable, but she's also helping those dogs. Whenever you walk them, you start to train them, you make them more adoptable. Everybody is just having a really great time. People who need a companion to walk with, go and volunteer or ask if you can, walk those dogs in the morning, evening, whatever. And I'm sure your shelter will work with you because that is so needed and it helps both. You're giving those animals a new lease on life and, you're making them more adoptable. It gives you a companion to walk with. And it's amazing. You could do double the good in that situation. There's little things that are cropping up all over. And I say little things because, everything starts out small and then it just explodes. And the support from people who want to help others get out there. There was a man who got on the site and he was like, hey, I'd love to hike. I just need somebody to hike with. So I put it on the site. Hey, everybody, he's in this location. Anybody want to go walking with him? He just needs somebody to walk with. And immediately, it was like the next morning, there were people who were like, hey, we're going to go walking with him. And so, everybody supporting everybody and just coming out and showing up is just amazing. It's just amazing.
And that tidal wave of the fact of the positive energy, but hey, it's free. Most of us have shoes and we have the capacity to go out. And whether it's a half an hour in nature, you're in the city, going to a park, you got a track by your house, you're dropping the kids off, waiting for a sport, like you can't find the time. And one of the things we want to challenge Julie with tonight, coming at you from Bagage, straight across, up and over the ridge, down the Appalachian Trail, right to you, baby. Let's see you get your Mountaineer Mile in. Post for us, tag you.
Listen, I get a Mountaineer Mile in.
Doing it.
Yeah, as soon as I get to work.
I know.
The parking lot to my classroom is about a mile.
I know. So share it with us.
There you go.
Let's help that bridge, right? Because people sometimes don't think I can't go to the gym, or I don't have a gym membership, or I'm too far away. And so one of the things that as a Mon Forest Town rep for Durban, I want to be pushing that Monday. Mon Forest Town Mile Day, Mountaineer Mile, come baby, get all these communities working and getting in a position to create their own wave of momentum and post if you want to, but the point is let's get healthy as a team, as a community.
Yeah, that's very important. And you know what, Julie, you have some close ties with Nancy East, who was just coming through here, right?
So I met Nancy many years ago. I'm not even sure how our paths crossed, probably social media. And I knew that Nancy was a guru in Western North Carolina. So I'm about 2.5 hours from where Nancy lives, and I know that she was on a search and rescue team. So what we've just had interaction prior to getting Nancy in the fall of 2023 to agree to make a film, a documentary based around the Haywood County Search and Rescue Team. So, or actually the fall of 22, man, it seems it's been a while. We spent an entire year with Nancy and her team, all of 2023, filming, getting the documentary ready. And y'all, Nancy is one of the most kind, generous, opened her home to us, just like you, Marcia, just like you, Nicole. Women that go out and do extraordinary things and invite people to go along with them. And her being part of the Haywood County Search and Rescue Team, it all just kind of came together, and we had an idea and we put it together, and the film is just doing fantastic. We are, this coming Sunday, April the 13th, we will be featured at the River Run International Film Festival. The film,
Wow.
our portion of showing the film is actually sponsored. We had no idea. It's actually sponsored by a local outfitter. And after the film, they're going to do a panel with the local search and rescue team there in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. And the wonderful thing about this film is we always wanted it to be free, and it continues to be free. And about 2 weeks ago, I could go on and on, Marcia. You shouldn't have asked me.
Keep going.
About 2 weeks ago, I got a message on Facebook from a lady that lives in Redmond, Washington, the state of Washington. And she was like, "Thank you all so much. I'm an outdoor educator. I have incorporated the film into our curriculum." And I was like, "Say what?" So this film is being shown all over the place. It raised money for a search and rescue team in Colorado. So it's doing exactly kind of what we really wanted it to do. And the film is kind of evergreen, and it will continue to educate. There's no timestamp on the film. And, we're growing with the film. So we're very proud of that. We're very thankful for Nancy. And we cannot thank her and the team enough for allowing us in their lives.
Back when we had our fundraiser for the How Would You Survive weekend, this Haywood County Search and Rescue Team is who we sent the money to, right? And, Nancy, while she was here, she actually invited me to North Carolina to just, see how the team works and maybe get some training myself. And so, the Waybright family is all about that. We take care of our people on the Allegheny Trail, and we look forward to, progressing and continuing to do good things for not only the hikers, but the guests that we invite here. We can't invite people here and then just, abandon them. We want to be able to take care of them whenever they're here and know that if something does happen, we're able to take care of our guests. So
that would be awesome. And the film would not have happened without Nancy, period. It just wouldn't have happened. So she was been phenomenal.
And that's Safe and Found.
You can put a link to that in the show notes for everybody too.
I think it's already there. I sneak it in there.
Okay.
You don't have to sneak it. You put it loud and proud.
And Julie, congratulations to you and Austin on all those accolades and accomplishments with the film. It's fantastic. We're looking to weave it a little bit more into some of the stuff we're doing with the Allegheny Trail, and maybe send that in our welcome to new members link and information and stuff like that, just to get people prepped to meet them where they are.
Yeah.
As they begin to get out on trail and begin to come to volunteer events and that type of stuff. So,
well, we appreciate that. And that is exactly what we want. We never wanted anybody to have to pay. And one of the things with the film festival, I really never thought about it, because you have to pay to go to a film festival. That's just the way it is. But you guys, with this sponsorship, nobody has to pay to see Safe and Found. It's free because the outdoor company is sponsoring our film to be shown. And I was like, oh my gosh, it just lives. This film just lives. That's the only way I could put it.
Yeah, and it saves lives. It is so important. It is so important.
Thank you, Marcia. Not to go on and on, but we're really proud of that.
Well, and you should be. You should be. It's a great thing. And as it goes on, actually in the interview that I did with Chris and Nancy, and that's also on the YouTube channel. People can look at that. Chris actually said that the number of calls has gone down since you made that documentary, and they feel that that probably had a direct result. So, from the movie. So
That's awesome.
that's pretty awesome stuff.
And I've also heard that they've gained a lot of new search and rescue volunteers after the film. They've been doing a lot of training. So it's amazing. And we pinch ourselves and we look at each other and we go, oh my God, did we do that? It's really hard for us to believe we actually did it. So thank you again. I appreciate that. And your support as well, Nicole.
For sure.
Good work. Well, I tell you what, if you want to play the next video, the Shiitake workshop highlights,
let's do it.
There were so many things that came into play with that. It started, Nicole, what did you have? What trees did you have my husband cut like the month before?
White oak, because you got to cut them a month before so they're natural. The nature's intuitive essence inside the tree, right, has an antifungal aspect to it. If there's a wound or it loses a limb or gets injured, to seal itself. But what we're doing is we're actually putting a fungus inside it. So we had to let that antifungal hormone sort of taper down and wear itself thin and give it enough time that wouldn't be the resistance factor inside when we put our own mushroom spawn inoculation into the actual log per log. So yeah, a lot of fun, but not to get too deep on it.
If we cut it too soon, then it stands the risk of actually getting contaminated by other spawn, right? So it has to be this very precise window of opportunity. And then he got the logs ready a month ahead of time. And then, Nicole told me what to order. This was the West Virginia Mushroom Club and the West Virginia School of Traditional Skills that pulled all this off. And yeah, we had a great turnout and it was a lot of fun. Nicole, you want to talk a little bit more about what we did?
Sure. So basically we did everything from a little bit of lecture in the beginning, took some Q&A, got a barometer of where everybody was on the mushroom world scale, let's just say. And then on that scale, we also took a barometer where people were at in terms of growing their own mushrooms and their experience with growing, good, bad, or different. I think the age range may have been about mid-70s to, I'm going to say, early 30s in there. I mean, of course, your family too, Marsha, and that. But we had people that drove 3.5 hours one way to come do this because of what mushrooms and the fungi kingdom can offer. And they're their own teachers. So we did the inoculation, we did the waxing, and then we drilled the hole, then we inoculated, then we waxed it. And everybody got to take logs home that will produce for them for, up to 5 years. The white oak is the creme de la creme of our media, our growing species, if you will. And so what it looks like, if you fast forward, I think, Julie, you got a couple pictures. I happened to be walking through the backyard this week and saw some of mine popping out. And so this is what it looks like after a year. I just happened to walk by and had like 300 of these things laying around because we had so much rain in West Virginia. And so I've got a dehydrator full rocking right now. Yeah. Do you have the one with the two? Yeah, there you go. And so solid size, you know what I mean? Still concave and really potent. So I put those in the dehydrator, and a couple things I'll show you real quick up close. So these are shiitakes, if you can see that. And these are intentionally left with the actual stem on. So I'll just circulate this slowly. And that stem is a wonderful resource for broths. So this is all dry, super crispy, but so these can be used in any soups, stews, steaks, marinades, whatever you want to do. But that stem becomes a broth for us later. Now, if you look at this one, this was actually super dark side by side. This one was done in the spring. You can tell the content, right? Really deeper, much deeper pigment. These are done in September and then sun dried. So they're storing no stems, as you can see. They're storing the vitamin D in these. And so these are basically, you can crush them up. You can use them again, like a marinade if you rub it on anything. But also, these are just wonderful gifts to give away to friends and family. I mean, they reek of flavor. The umami is here. It's super special. but also a ton of medicine. And then if you're in a hurry, like I was today, I just sliced them up quick, threw them in a little Ziploc. Now they're totally portable, lightweight, great for backpacking, throw them in some boiling water and letting them sit and flavor a bunch of stuff. But, it was a privilege to work with these people who are so eager to learn and have that reverence for nature and that connection. And they got to take a little bit of West Virginia home with each one of them.
Yeah. And we actually have, I think, 21 logs left here at the bed and breakfast. So this time next year, hopefully we'll be starting to see some action. And probably maybe a little later in the year, but starting in the spring, right?
So he's just a specific window in there, about a year, that mycelium chomps through and eats through that log, which is full of polysaccharides and different long chain sugars for the mushroom. So think of it like a seed, right? The spawn has to eat and grow. When it reaches the ends of those logs, it becomes white and says, "Hey, I better reproduce." And so what we eat is the actual reproduction of the log in its essence to live on. And so, like I tell this in the lecture, like an apple tree, you don't eat the bark, you don't eat the branch, you don't eat the leaves. You eat the apple, right? Which we all know, oh, yeah, that's the fruit. Well, if you think about that in the fungi world, it's the same thing. We're not eating any of the other stuff. We're eating just the fruit, the fruiting body. So, and that happens. We can time that with these a couple times a year, but for sure, like a 5-year window of flavor and medicine and like connection. It's a whole new level when you start going outside and you're looking at the flowers and listening to the birds, and then you tune into your fungi kingdom friends. It's just a different experience.
Yeah. And we have, and I can sit and listen to you talk about it. This is so descriptive. I'm like picturing it all, like romanticizing the mushroom as it pops out of the log. But we're actually putting ours over in our mountain medicine trail. So, along with all the other things, we have signs out there now where we've planted ginseng, black cohosh, golden seal, Solomon seal. And now we're putting our shiitake mushroom logs out there so that we can teach with that. And then we'll have a supply of mushrooms for the bed and breakfast for, teaching and showing and eating for the next 5 years, right?
Oh yeah. And look, they don't go bad. I mean, these are delicious.
It's kind of like chickens, they lay for a certain amount of time, and then that doesn't mean that they're going to stop on that day. You just kind of wait until they're, but yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, your trail's coming along really nice. Jen and I went over for a walk after, and really proud of you guys. The signs look beautiful. For those that come to the bed and breakfast, I know you may be hiking your feet, your dogs may be barking a little bit here, but it's worth going out there and taking that extra little loop to get your Mountaineer Mile in on the medicine trail. Come on.
Yeah, we worked with the U Mountain Center. We actually got a grant with them to put up those beautiful signs so that people can learn about what's on the trail, what's out there. And, we planted some seeds, and, forest farming is all about planting what grows in your area. And, then we can teach with it, and people don't have to go all over the place trying to find it. It's just kind of this nice little trail that shows them what to look for, and then they can go out in the wild and find it for themselves. So it's pretty exciting.
You'll get to see that, Julie, when you come up.
I'm excited. I didn't know that existed, or I'd have walked it before.
Well, we didn't have the signs up the last time you were here. That's a new thing. Of course, everything's a new thing here. It seems like we're progressing every day so much that, wait till you come back. You won't believe it.
That's a good problem to have, I think. It's a good problem to have.
Anyway, we've been having a lot of fun with it. And, anything that we can do to promote our educational things that we do here, that's our passion. That's what the Waybright family is all about. We love to do things, off the land and work with the land in order to make things grow and to get our food. But the real icing on the cake is being able to teach others how to do that. And, whenever you work within your community to make everybody kind of grounded in where their food sources come from, it's amazing. It's amazing what can happen.
Definitely.
Well, Marcia, you guys are doing awesome stuff, but I have to ask you, what is all in front of you? Because it looks fantastic. You have the setup. You have set the set, is what I'm going to say.
So all of these things here, and this is the Waybright, a lot of the stuff we make here, but we also reach out to our community and we sell a lot of stuff in our gift shop that's right here at the bed and breakfast. And so we started to include a lot of other people in what we do, but you can find all kinds of handmade things. And so this rabbit is the latest thing that it's Kendra Page is putting out. And you can see her cute little tags here and see it's adorable with its little tail and its ears and its little feet. And then she does the
Perfect for Easter.
chickens. Yeah,
Oh my
exactly.
God, hold that chicken up.
Oh, the chicken, yeah.
That chicken is awesome.
Then we have the bee. So she makes bees. And then actually, my sister has started to put some things in the gift shop too. And she makes some of these items. Let's see, she made this as well. We also do the freeze-dried fruit. We get the fruit. This actually came from a neighbor's farm. The apples did. So they're, no pesticides, all natural, just right off the tree. And we throw them in our freeze dryer. And this is very light, so the hikers really enjoy it. And we work with our friends down in Parsons. And this has the West Virginia grown label. This is Mountain State honey. And then redhead mud boots. We have some earrings and a little decoration. You can hang that like on a Christmas tree or on your mirror in your car. We have the mugs that we have with our emblem on it. My sister also did these, and it actually is a map of Mon Forest, and you can see that she has the star at Jenningston, so you can remember how to get back here if you take one of those. And then this is our latest thing. I'm going to reach across here. Our whipped tallow. So this is actually one of our newest things that we're doing with our rendered beef tallow, and this is a new skin product line that we're doing. And we're really excited about that. We sell a lot of books from local authors. And yeah, so, we do all kinds of things. We try what we can't do. I can't keep up with everything. So what we can make and produce enough to sell, we teach people how to make things and serve it here at the bed and breakfast, but that doesn't mean that I can make enough to actually sell. So we reach out to local farmers, crafters, area people, and try to keep as much of the handcrafted West Virginia handmade items in our gift shop that we can. And, we love our West Virginia people, so we want to showcase everything that they do in there.
Well, it looks fantastic, and I'm looking at that chicken. I mean, that chicken's got my name on it. I just love stuff like that. So, and those apples look good, so I'm going to have to get me some of those when I get up there in about a month. So what else we got going on, Marcia? I feel like we have covered a ton.
Yeah, well, we still have a video left. The latest on the farm. So we need to show that. That's a really fun one.
All right, let's do it.
How would you like to be the mother of one of those little heathens?
But they're so cute, jumping around.
And they're jumping on their mamas. Look at them.
What are they doing that for? Trying to get them to play.
That's just what they do. They run and they play, and you never know what they're going to do. But, that's what they do. If they were mine, they wouldn't do it.
No, it's hard to believe all this is going on in a month. I mean, we just talked last month, and it's like, you talked about, the lambs and all that coming. So it's like, holy cow.
Yeah, now there's like a gang of them out there.
It's amazing what happens in like 30 days this time of year. I mean, it's in nature alone. What's going on in the forest. You've got all kinds of weather swings, like 70 degrees, and then we got a winter storm coming. It's snowing, I think, up on Cheat right now. And then it's going to be 18 tonight, 13 tomorrow, and then 65 again in 3 days. Well, like in the garden, I mean, you got your garlic growing inches per day. And truth be known, you guys didn't watch asparagus in a rainy season. My asparagus is about this big right now. But if you put a time lapse on that, you can watch your asparagus grow 5 inches in a day.
Wow.
It's
I've never done that.
Too. Oh, it's crazy. You should do it.
Yeah.
You really should do it. But
now I have to do
it. Like the daffodils are up. So like that's kind of the signal, Easterish time, but also for those of us that are fungi and mushroom hunters, there's that secret word, morel. Very, very highly sought after, very high on the culinary scale of mushrooms. So you've got, depending who you are, you may it may be the top for you. You may not even hit truffle. Morels may be the top one for you. But in Appalachia, all of Appalachia right now, we've got some incredible opportunities for mushroom hunting, and kind of like, you guys will laugh, but whatever, but kind of like the butterfly and the hummingbird, you can follow them come up in a map.
Yeah.
It's the same thing for mushrooms. There's a mushroom map. It tells you who found the first morel and then which state's next. And I'm telling you,
Oh, yeah.
Is this
Yep.
for real? This happened?
Yeah. Yeah. It is for real.
Like you go price them somewhere and you'll understand. Go price them.
I
Yeah.
cannot imagine. I don't even look at them.
That leaves more for us.
Julie, you're welcome to come to the farm anytime because you don't look for them.
I'm coming. You've got some stuff out of your garden too, right? Some garlic, something or the other, and some leaf thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Leaf thing. This is young garlic right here. So we just pulled it up. So this is how tall the garlic is right now. I mean, it just springs up too. It's kind of like the asparagus, it just goes crazy. And then we have, Julie, do you know what this is?
No clue. I have no clue.
Nicole?
What that is. You guys
Nicole,
do
tell
this
me
on
what it
purpose.
is.
You do this on purpose.
Yes. Yes, I do. Well, we like, getting your reactions whenever we ask you, hey, Julie, have you ever?
I don't know. I would just pick that as a weed and get rid of it.
You definitely want to get rid of the top of it because that part is poisonous, but the stalk, it kind of resembles celery, sort of. This is called rhubarb.
Yes.
And
very nutritious.
this is very nutritious. And usually, my grandmother used to make like a rhubarb crunch or crisp, and you mix it typically with strawberries. I do some things with it where I mix it with cherries. It's tart. It's very tart, but it is good. And I'll show you. You can. And see, it's kind of stringy like celery. It has this red base, but whenever you pull it down, see, it's kind of green inside. It's not very good raw to me. Nicole, what do you think of it raw?
I like it.
You eat it like a rabbit.
Well, I mean, it depends. And this time of year, it's probably a little too tart. But if you're a hiker, like I've had a couple farmer friends up in Preston County when I'm out doing trail maintenance or whatever, offer to have me get some out of their garden, which is delicious, and they like sharing. It's rare that you can't go really buy this in the store. This is one of those heirloom and one of those traditional vegetables that lives for a long time on people's farms, and it's been a staple, right? When times were tough and lean, this was a resource. So yeah, you could do the strawberry rhubarb pie, and you could do the sweet cool stuff with it. But then again, you could pickle it and have that as a staple moving forward.
I don't pickle it, but I can it, and it makes it like a
really
pie filling,
Yeah, like celery, it's high in a bunch of different nutrients. I'm a fan. For those of you that haven't tried it, honestly, the taste is nothing like celery, but texture is spot on. But I like it a little bit later in the year. Not that it gets like sweet or anything, but I guess it's more refreshing, when it's hot out, that type of thing.
You don't have to replant it. And usually what I do, these leaves will get huge. Like this is a small leaf. Like they'll get this big. And when I go out to the garden, I'll just cut the top of the leaf off. And whenever you pick them, you just twist them, off. You're not supposed to cut them at the base. You're supposed to kind of twist them off. But then I'll cut the big leaf off and I'll throw it down in the garden. And that's a weed preventative. It helps keep the weeds down around the other plants.
Absolutely. So great mulch is also, that was kind of something special families passed along to each other when a young couple was starting to get established, because that's not gonna go anywhere if you keep it right, give it that first 2-3 years to really anchor in on your property, and then I've seen them grow. People say 150 years or more, the same plant. So it's a perennial, and there's value in that for sure in your property.
Yeah, for sure. Nicole, did you have anything that you'd like to say about some of the goings on in your area? In your neck of the woods?
A lot of rain, a lot of trail, like Allegheny trail damage, some bike trail damage. We've had some incredible crews popping out to step up to the call. Forest Service has been fantastic to work with. Our Monongahela National Forest is spectacular. The staff in that is so dedicated, so available, wants to jump in where they can. So, and I know everybody knows what's kind of going on with some cuts and stuff around the country, but boy, do they show up. We had 11 Sawyers on one weekend work crew, getting a few more certified. The need is there, right? Like there's always spring damage and winter damage that you encounter. But whether that's winters, ice storms, wind, whatever. But this seems to be an exceptional year. And then we've had a lot of rain already, which is great for the water tables and whatnot. But just patience out there, Grasshopper. We're coming. We're coming. And so the past few weekends, we put in a lot of time. Total, we ended up cleaning up over 26 miles to this point already, which is pristine.
Wow.
And very, very proud to put that out there. Incredible crews. We've had some young people, 14, come out, get community service. Some young ladies coming out to understand what it's like to give back and thanking us after for helping them do volunteer work. Pretty special.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of the wrap it up in a quick minute there for that part. But Mon Forest Towns, we got some great activities across the whole forest coming out. So I'll be keeping you guys in tune with that, Marcia and Julie. I can get you guys the links for that if that's something we want to put out there. But just super energizing. Like the days are getting longer every day. Let's go. Let's go.
It's amazing the work that you guys have been doing. It's, you can put a crew together so quickly, Nicole. It's amazing. That's like one of your gifts, putting a crew together, a cooperative, hardworking, let's get her done crew. So
thank you. It's a privilege to be a part of it for sure. You guys are on that team. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we have some things coming up in April. So we have, I guess it is April. So we have some more things coming up in April. The hunter safety education class on the 12th. If anybody needs their hunter safety education class. We also that evening have a concealed carry class. On the 24th and 25th, we have the West Virginia Agritourism Conference, and that's going to be at Canaan Valley State Park. And on the 24th, we're actually one of the stops for the tourism group. So several vans pull in here. We'll be doing tours and showing people, everything that we do here. I'm pretty excited about that. May 1st, we're working with the Tigris Valley Conservation. We're doing crop cover in a high tunnel and how to make biochar and how to incorporate the biochar into a high tunnel. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And check all these dates and times on our website. Everything is on there. If it's not, it will be very soon. The Safe and Found, it will be popping up again, Julie, in May 9th through the 11th for the Safe Women Retreat. Think we can get a viewing of Safe and Found during that retreat?
Yeah, why not?
You can just bring it up and do it personally since you're going to be here, right?
Boom, done.
So that's going to be a really, really cool thing. We have, let's see, myself, Julie Gayhart, Jean and Tamara Smithson. You don't want to miss this. This is going to be a really cool thing, whether you're a hiker or whether you're just a woman who wants to learn how to be aware. This retreat is going to be really awesome and help you stay safe no matter where you're at and what you're doing. Becoming more self-aware and have situational awareness is very important no matter where you're at. Then on the 14th, we have a crop management with Lewis Jett from the West Virginia Extension and Eastern Technical and Community College and the West Virginia Department of Agriculture will be doing a crop management class, and that's going to be really awesome. So we have a lot of great things coming up. A lot of them are free. Some of them, there's a charge for, so check that out on our website so that you'll know what's going on. But we have a lot of amazing things coming up to, people who want to learn off the farm kind of stuff. This is agriculture, agritourism, and just learning how to get back in closer to where your food comes from, learning the sources. How can you do it yourself type stuff, recreational hiking, forest farming, Mountaineer Mile, Allegheny Trail. All this is coming together to teach so many different things. So
awesome. I don't know what to say after that.
Well, we had another hour, Julie.
That was a mic
That's
drop,
a rhubarb
baby.
drop.
I
That's
know.
a rhubarb drop.
There
That's
you go,
right.
Marcia.
That's right.
Drop that rhubarb.
The rhubarb drop.
Boom. There's so much. I think it's fantastic. I'm looking forward to seeing you again in person, Marcia, not only for the safe weekend of learning and teaching, but also catching up with you because talking to Marcia, I don't know what happens, especially if you get me, Marcia, Nicole in a room, it's like the ideas, we can't keep up with it. Just like Marcia talking all about the highlights, we can't keep up with each other's thoughts.
One more quick thing. If everybody in the state of West Virginia has gotten to kind of meet you, Julie. You've been here several times now, whether it be with the Allegheny Trail or with us or whatever's going on. May 9th and 10th for the Safe Woman Retreat. This is your chance to meet the Julie Gayhart, the jester. If you want to get over here and meet Julie, who's from North Carolina, you don't get this opportunity very often. Get yourself on over here.
Come on, ladies, let's do it. Let's do some hiking. Let's learn how to be safe on trail. Here you go. Let's not be afraid to hike by ourselves. Let's learn how to do this and be safe and have a good time doing it. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
I love putting boots on the ground in West Virginia. Marcia, I don't have anything. I mean, really, after the rhubarb drop there, I don't have anything else. I mean, I can't even think of everything that you said, with the exception of the links are already in the description. So, Nicole, the Mon Forest, that link that we talked about last episode, if y'all didn't see that, Nicole did an excellent description on what's going on with all the Mon Forest towns. The link is already in the description. I'm just leaving it in there. Figured you might mention it this evening. And Marcia, your website is at the top in the description, so people can click on that and go and see all the wonderful things that you just talked about. And also spread the word, share it on social media, this live video, also the Waybright Family Podcast. If you want to listen to us again in your car, if you're traveling on a long trip, if you're hiking, that's when I love to listen to podcasts, and I will re-listen to episodes and learn something every time. So Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all the things that is out there. And I'm going to be quiet and turn it back over to you, Marcia, because I think we're ready to wrap up.
Thanks so much for joining us and supporting us in everything that we do. And we'll see you next time.